Hello and welcome to another MC Eternal video from Key Smash Studios. Today we're going to be talking about solar panels and early game power in MC Eternal. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the subscribe button, hit that like button, and we'll hop right into it. Alright, so early on there are dozens of solar power options in MC Eternal, given the fact that it is a rather large mob pack. If I come here and I type in solar just in the menu, you can see that there are various different ones, from Nuclear Craft to Tech Reborn, Actually Editions, Advanced Rocketry. The list goes on and on. There are a ton of solar power options for you to choose from, but the ones that are my favorite are the ones from Mechanism. So Mechanism generators, these are pretty solid ones. You can see I've already pulled them down here. They're not too expensive, and I'll get into sort of how they are not quite the easiest to get, but I believe they are the best and the most cost effective for where they are. So there's a few different tiers of these solar power generators from Mechanism. They start with a solar panel, then the solar generator, and then the advanced solar generator. It's sort of like a tier progression. But for the most part, we're probably going to focus on these two, because if you can afford to make one of these, you can pretty much afford to make a full-on solar generator. So it's best to just skip the early stage and sort of go to like part 2 and 3 of this tech tree, if you will. If you imagine that there's 3 parts to this tech tree, it's best just to skip stage 1 and focus on 2 and 3. And we'll get into what we need. So there are 2 challenging parts to getting started with these solar generators. Obviously, they're pretty solid, reliable power until you stop playing. But there's 2 parts that are a little challenging to get. The first is this Enriched Alloy. So the way that you get that set up is with a item called a metallurgic infuser. It's not that expensive. This is the core item of Mechanism, this Enriched Alloy, and the way that you get it is you essentially infuse redstone into iron ingots with a little bit of power. So early on, you just need to put up a coal generator just to shove some power into this metallurgic infuser, and you start getting some enriched alloy. It's not that bad in terms of efficiency for you just to put one and just slowly push them out, because honestly, it's not the hardest of the things to get. You can just set this up, let it go while you work on getting osmium. So osmium is the slightly harder thing to get in MC Eternal. It comes from the beneath, and the beneath, here's osmium ore here. It comes from the beneath. It's found sort of in the big cave of the beneath. So you sort of have to dig down to the cave of the beneath, and then once you're there, you can start finding osmium. It's not that bad to get once you get to the beneath, but getting to the beneath is a little bit tricky. You need a nether star. So there are a few options to getting a nether star in MC Eternal. First and foremost is to do it from a quest. There's some bounties that you can do that will give you a nether star specifically. That is probably the most reliable way to do it. The second way is to use loot crates as a way to get them. It's still not a super high chance, but you can do it. You can either buy the crates for coins in the store. So if you search for a black market container, you can buy these from the store for coins, or you can get them from completing other quests. If you go to your quest tab, completing random quests will give you a loot reward, or on occasion they will give you a black market chest. And when you open these, you can see that there's a chance for a nether star. Obviously, this is still chance-based, and I would not recommend trying to do this. So I would really recommend either getting a nether star the traditional way, or grabbing it via a quest. However you do it, once you create the beneath teleporter, you can go down to the beneath, grab some osmium, and then you're going to use that to create the solar generators. So the solar generators themselves are not that expensive. Once you have that osmium, and a metallurgic infuser. You start off with a solar panel, which is just a glass pane, some osmium ingots, redstone, enriched alloy. You create that, and then I would recommend sort of skipping that tier, and we're just going to primarily focus on solar generators and advanced solar generators. You can create a solar generator itself, which is 3 solar panels and some osmium dust. You can crush that however you want. But the expenses of the panels are not that great outside of getting to the beneath. The only caveat to this is that the solar generator and advanced solar generator only have one way in which to take out power. So I sort of have to go beneath the regular solar generator, so the tier 2 of this one. To connect to it, it only connects on this bottom side, and the big one only connects on the side where there is a obvious outpost right there. Once you do that, you can throw those right into a battery or connect them to your system, and you have some guaranteed generators power that will give you power anytime it is daylight, every time for the rest of the game. You never have to set up anything else. So these are super useful. You don't have to worry about lava tanks. You don't have to worry about generating coal or setting up a quarry. Once you get it, this provides power for the rest of the game. And all they need is real estate. So 2 over, 2 over. You can create as many of these as you want, hook them up to the same system, providing, of course, that your power lines can handle the amount of power that are generated, which actually isn't all that terrible. For the big ones, it's about 98 RF per tick. For the small ones, it's about 16. And as you can see, they generate power. If you remember last week, we talked about thermal dynamos. I will show you here. The entire time I've been filming, they've stored about 6,000 RF, kilo RF of power from 4 magnetic dynamos, and I have 2 advanced solar generators here, and they have produced almost the exact same, but I put them down much, much later. So these are a step up from the magnetic dynamos. I'd really recommend getting these. They are constant power that you can get anytime, and there's no upkeep. So as long as you have power lines going to a battery and there's room in the battery, these are fantastic sources of power. If you have any questions at all on how these solar panels and solar generators work, please let me know down in the comments below. If you would like to join our Discord, there's tons of people that know a ton about MC Eternal. You can join our Discord. We'd love to have you there. If you have an idea of a different power generation tool or you'd like to ask about that, please let me know down in the comments below. You can find links to our Patreon, to our Twitch, anything like that down in the description below. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I hope this has been helpful, and hopefully we'll see you next week.